Word up, everyone! It's me, Chad Inglis, the content lead on Stellaris, and as promised, I am back at you with another dev diary. This time to talk about another new feature in the Grand Archive Story Pack, which is called the Vivarium. Contained inside of the new Grand Archive megastructure, the Vivarium is a controlled environment in which the galaxy's space fauna can be collected and preserved. Space fauna kept inside of the Vivarium will breed faster and more easily than space fauna in the wild. Of course, because this is Stellaris, these creatures can be dissected for research, resources, and genetic material. So at this point, you may be asking yourself, awesome, how do I get them in there? Well, a science ship equipped with a gravity snare, which is a new type of technology which we're introducing in this DLC, will be able to capture the fauna in the wild and bring it back to the Vivarium. Captured space fauna can be contained in smaller Vivariums on your star bases until you complete a Grand Archive. Genetic material harvested from space fauna can clone exact copies of these at a hatchery housed inside of your starbase. With the development of controlled mutations technology, space fauna can be customized to create a fully controllable fleet. Fleets of space fauna can grow and become stronger over time. Some of these mutations can be used by any cloned fauna, while others are unique to specific species. Completing the Domestication tradition tree will increase the output of your Vivarium and will improve various aspects of your cloned space fauna. But let's say that you don't want to scour the entire galaxy looking for space fauna. In that case, build a starbase in a system that those fauna inhabit and build a void lure on the starbase. This is going to be super useful for capturing and hunting purposes. To this point, I've talked a lot about the different space fauna that exist in the Stellaris universe. And if you're like me, it's pretty exciting to think about what type of playstyle that might open up. One of the ways that you can do that is by playing the Primal Calling Origin. This is a perfect choice if you want to invest in creature-focused playstyle because they start with the Void Lure technology. The Origin also provides a ton of creature-focused modifiers as well as the unique Wrangler job. This job is super cool. I really like this one as a content designer because it actually changes depending on your ethics and the choices you make throughout the game. So you can see some of the things that you do reflected in the actual output of this job. Of course, as you play through the Origin, you'll also get a bunch of space fauna related events when you encounter these creatures in the galaxy, but caution is advised as interacting with space fauna is a notoriously tricky and sometimes dangerous affair. Empires with the Beastmaster Civic came to technological maturity in a system that is a feeding ground for space amoebas. Beastmasters' empires work to raise, nurture, and ultimately clone these creatures for mutual benefit. They start with the ability to capture space fauna and a fleet of cloned amoebas, as opposed to the typical corvettes. Of course, we take game balance very seriously here, so this empire type will pay increased upkeep on non-space fauna ships. Next week, I will be back to talk about all of the new space fauna that exist inside of the Grand Archive Story Pack. Thank you for watching. From the bottom of my heart, it means a lot. Hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible Stellaris content. Next week, I'll be back to talk about all of the new space fauna. That's right, new space fauna. You heard it. And other things.
That is a perfect outro.